Welcome to another session of Demo Mondays. Demo Mondays is a video series where I invite different Amazon seller software developers and I ask them to present their products just like this on the screen. And today my guest is Gorilla ROI. And Gorilla ROI is presented by Jae Jun. Hello, Jae.
Hey, Augustus. Thanks for having me.
So please tell us about, very shortly, what is Gorilla ROI and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, sure. So I hope you don't mind if I just start with a very simple story. It just explains how we started. So we are Amazon sellers as well. And we used to subscribe to 3 to 5 different software depending on what we were trying to do in the business. But the downside was it still only did about 80% of the functionality that we needed. So the remaining 20%, we'll still have to manually log into Seller Central, export data, clean up Excel files, organize it, and then upload it onto our spreadsheets and share it with the team. And once we got to a stage where we just had to do it too often, it became much more expensive, and we didn't have up-to-date data on hand. And so we handed that off to my assistant, but humans make mistakes, and hourly work gets expensive. Plus, when our team needed a specific up-to-date data point, it wasn't immediately available. Somebody had to redo it again. And so there was that delay. And so since we use Google Sheets a lot to share numbers between our departments, that's where the idea came about. So now it pretty much automatically imports our seller data straight into Google Sheets. Just like how you can install like an extension for Google Chrome, we've done the same thing by extending the functionality of Google Sheets. So in its simplest form, I mean, if I had to explain it in like one sentence, it's Gorilla ROI allows you to load your seller data straight into Google Sheets. And the problem it solves for Amazon sellers like me and a lot of you out there is that it automates the manual spreadsheet process so that you can get rid of that work that doesn't really add value to your business. It eliminates the errors related to just copying, pasting. You have the flexibility because now you can pretty much pull the data and the information that you need, as opposed to, say, just using whatever Amazon gives you. You can customize things like that. So that's the type of problems that it solves for Amazon sellers.
And what is the target user of your software? It should be a technical guru, right? The one who understands technical sheets.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we actually split it up. We have a very clear idea of who is going to benefit the most. And to split it up, we have our offering for 2 types of Amazon sellers. One type is the person who is just running a single seller account. So if you maybe just have one login, and then there are sellers where they have multiple accounts, like agencies or bigger sellers with like 5 different accounts and stuff. So we've grouped them separately. But pretty much there's three points that really hit home. And so for the first one, the best user fit is if you are data-driven and analytical. So if knowing your numbers or your clients' numbers is important and getting it fast is high on your list, then this is definitely for you. Secondly, if you do FBA only, so we don't support FBM, like Fulfilled by Merchant, and you need direct and flexible access to your data, then this tool is for you, because honestly, there is no other tool on the market at the moment that gives you as much direct and flexible control as what we provide through Gorilla ROI. And third, we highly recommend sellers who are doing at least 6 figures, because that means it's pretty much assumed that you're going to have more than, say, 7 SKUs. And once you do 6 figures, the time that it takes to maintain spreadsheets takes way longer than if you're a small seller. So if you're brand new or you don't have many SKUs, then this isn't going to be the right tool for you because you can probably do it manually and save costs that way. So just to wrap that up again, first, you're going to have to be like a data-driven analytical person. Second, it's for FBA only. And third, for at least 6 figures in revenue or at least 7 SKUs and above, where it starts to take time to start following and tracking your products.
All right. And what marketplaces does your software cover? Marketplaces of Amazon?
Yeah, so we cover all the marketplaces. So except for India, we support all the current Amazon marketplaces. So that's North America, Europe, Japan, and Australia.
Mm-hmm. Great. Finally, we are ready to see how does your Gorilla ROI software looks like from inside, right? So you'll
Yes,
be
yeah.
showing us the software, the application, and some Google Sheets, how it works, right?
Yeah, so we have some templates that I'll show you that comes with the application for those who may not have spreadsheets ready to go. And before I start, again, our feature is really just one, and that's to import seller data into Google Sheets. And since that's what we specialize in and that's what we're so good at, that's what I'll show you. And that way, I'll take you through the process of how it can be applied to your business, how is it in our business as well, and that way you'll be able to get a good idea of how it goes. So let me share my screen. Okay, so on the screen that you see, once you've logged in, for anyone that logs in, this is where it goes in. But what I want to take your direction to is on the left side, there's all these, pretty much everybody gets access to these spreadsheets because we want people to just, we want to make it easy for people to use rather than having to learn everything. So if you're busy, if you don't have time to create templates and spreadsheets, then everything that we have here, you can just pretty much copy it straight to your Google account. And then you just add your credentials, activate the add-in, and it's pretty much, we've tried to make it as easy to get going as possible, like plug and play. So the first thing is I want to show you this training spreadsheet because it pretty much encapsulates the stuff that you can do with the add-on and by being able to pull the data. I've got my demo account loaded, and one of the SKUs that I've just created is AAAA1111. Another one is BBBB2222. So just for the sake of this demo, I just manually type this in, and now I'm going to get data and product information related to this SKU. So I've done a couple here, but I'm going to delete, say, this image, and I'm going to delete, say, this. It's as simple as doing, because we've pretty much added extra functionality to Google Sheets, as long as you've used spreadsheets, Excel, it's exactly the same thing, except you're now going to use our custom formula, which starts with equals Gorilla, and then you see all these different functions that we support. The first example I'm just going to show you is right now, since this is our AAAA1111 is our SKU, I'm just going to transform that into an ASIN. So I'm going to do Gorilla _ SKU ASIN. And then there's all these different options that we have, but this is the one I'm going to do because I want to automatically convert what my SKU is into ASIN. So I'm just going to select this cell, and then I'm going to type in SKU to ASIN because that's the way I want to transform it. And so let's get rid of that message. And then it automatically converts your current SKU into an ASIN. So if you have like a long list of SKUs that you want to get the ASIN for, and right now, if you're having to continually say log into your account, copy and paste or export, etc., you can already see how much time this is going to save, especially if you have like 1,000 SKUs or 1,000 ASINs, and you need to quickly grab the SKU or the ASIN or vice versa. The second example is you can grab product attributes. So it's something as easy again as Gorilla _ product. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and grab an image. Like I have an example in the right side, this purple text here, but I'm going to grab the URL. So the first parameter is going to be the SKU, and then I'm going to grab the image small. Oh, let me do that again. Small image _ URL. And I can pretty much leave it at that. I can add extra functionality to say I want the image from like my UK marketplace or my US or my France or my Australian marketplace. It doesn't matter. And to do that, then it loads me the URL for the actual image that I'm using. Now, if I want to get the image version of that, all I have to do again is just simple Excel where I just wrap it inside the image function, and then it automatically converts that into the image. So I can grab all the thumbnails and load it onto my spreadsheets. And I'll show you how everything comes about in the next templates. And I'm just going to run through this quickly because by now you can probably already get an idea of how this works. Now, I've already done this at the top. Let's do this. Let's say I want to grab all my ASINs in my current account. I can add, define which marketplace I want to grab it from. Like if I have UK and I just want to grab it from my UK account, I can type in, say, _UK and then do that. Or if I just want to everything, I'm just going to just close it, just enter that formula. And it would show that in my demo account, I have 3 ASINs and it just automatically populates. You can do other things like product category where this product, this helmet product that I'm got set up is under sports and outdoors. You can even go further down and get the exact category of the product. On this one, this formula pretty much shows you how much inventory I have in stock. So this is the formula where I'm using this SKU. I'm looking up all the products in the marketplace, and I just want the ones under in stock. So by having these inventory data specifically, you can do things like really project and get a better idea and get an up-to-date value of how much inventory you have, how much is being transferred, how much is being shipped inbound, and that way you get a much up-to-date idea of your inventory, forecasting, and projections. And so that's how it works. Let me take you to the next template, which actually pretty much shows it to you in action. So again, this is a template that you can copy directly over from your account. Like this one is for finances, but this is one. So if you say, click it, then you can make a copy directly over to your account and save it to your Google Docs. But I'm just going to close that because this one's been loaded. And you can see that right now, let me just clear that up. Right now, I'm grabbing the ASINs automatically. And if you look at the information or the formula here, based on this SKU, I can now pretty much create any sort of custom template that I need. So I've got the images here. I've loaded the product name from Amazon. So I've got all the product names here. I've got the matching ASINs. In this column, you can see the total amount of inventory on hand. And so this really gives you an up-to-date data. Sure, you can see it on Amazon directly when you log in, but when you have hundreds of different SKUs, it becomes very difficult to actually get a real understanding of your numbers because there's just so much going on in that page. And we've actually combined it to have on this same template the last 7 days, last 14 days, and last 30 days. And the purpose of this screen is to show people how you can customize and create your own inventory quantity to ship. So this is just a basic formula that I created where if I was selling this helmet product, in the last 30 days, I'm selling this much. And based on just basic spreadsheet formulas, I've calculated that I have about 6.1 days of inventory on hand. So I created this formula that you can get where it's telling me if I want to get my level back up to 25 or 30 days, I just have to send in this much inventory. And you can see how hands-off it is. If you have, say, a long list of, say, 100, 200 different SKUs, and it immediately tells you what to send. I also created a dashboard version of this so that I've cleaned it up and you can see how many, you get a very good quick glance of what products, how many is left, how many is being sold, and how many to ship. And so this is just some of the things that you can do if you have data on hand. So we have people and agencies who have to manage multiple different accounts. So they've created different dashboards for each customer or each brand, so as to keep things separated and to really get an idea and really stay on top of their numbers, so as not to go out of stock. Because one of the things they don't want to do, of course, is stock out, where you lose inventory, you lose sales, somebody else will overtake you in the rankings, and then it takes some more time to actually get your product ranking again. So that's one of the things. The second most used template that we offer from people is this one, because we offer so many presets. Like when you go to Amazon Seller Central and you're trying to filter your dates, mostly people just end at looking at their last 7 days, last 14 days, and last 30 days, simply because there's no other way to quickly filter down different time periods. Whereas we've pretty much pre-calculated all the different time presets, so that if you go into this page, you can see, and let me zoom in a little bit more. These are all pretty much presets where I know immediately how much I've sold today already. If I want to update this data, all I have to do is click on add-ons, Gorilla Sheets, the actual add-on that you've installed, and then I'm going to collect refresh data. And everything starts pulling automatically. So depending on the size of your account, if you have, say we have $1 million sellers on our account, but it still loads within a few seconds. And especially if you have like 1,000, 2,000 SKUs, it may take a little bit longer. Right now, this is a demo account, so everything is a little bit slower. But in the production version for your account, everything loads much quicker. But now you can see, and then just let the add-on finish updating. And pretty much it's pulled in every single calculation for today, yesterday, and all these different time periods, where we have many people who don't really care about last 30 days because they're trying to get their inventory up to last 90 days, because they've got to work out their lead times with China, the time it takes for them to ship, and pretty much have enough stock on hand. So they always look at the last 90 days. And until they started using Gorilla, they were having to constantly download their metrics every single day, updating them multiple times a day. But with this, I could easily change this from, say, instead of last 60 days, because the formula, I've got everything loaded. I'm just going to change my time period here. I'm going to change it to last 3 months. And then this will start loading again. And it's going to automatically pull in the units sold over the last 3 months. And this way, you can pretty much understand how your product and how your business has been performing, as well as how you can expect it to perform based on easily being able to project. Like if I look at last year compared to, say, there's another number for like the first one, let's say I sold like close to 9,500. And then this year so far, I've done 4,900. So based on this idea, I can pretty much assume that this product will sell about a little bit more than last year, but about the same. And so you can do projections. You can get better, accurate inventory projections when you order, so that you don't go out of stock. And you can also makes it easier for like peak seasons and off-peak seasons and knowing when. And again, same thing, but this time we have it in dollar value. So you can have inventory count as a dollar amount. So you can actually see, like if I go to say this year, how much of each product I've sold this year, this quarter, this month, how much I sold at the same time last year, and so on. So again, this is very good for accounting, just keeping track, etc. And so this is another dashboard where I've pretty much reorganized the sales stats into a table format to make it easier to see. And again, this is just some of the things that you can do. There's so much more things that you can do. It's all about your creativity. And if you're already doing 6 figures and you have lots of different products, you probably have your own dashboard. So you can just feed the data straight into it. So rather than updating all manually now, you can pretty much update everything automatically. We also have ways to pull in reviews. So that way you can filter down and really look up reviews, get the direct links, etc. Right now, this is, let me pull this down like that, get that updated so I can get a quick idea of what my top 10 rated products is based on the rating. All of this information can be pulled automatically from Gorilla with those custom formulas. And so again, it's the same type of format. So if you speak the spreadsheet language, if you think spreadsheets and everything else is like your first given language, then this is going to be perfect for you. And lastly, the final template that I want to show is, again, if I use this one in a way to track hijackers. So I have the title that I've entered into Amazon, and that automatically pulls it here. And then if I enter, and if I want to say, let me close that. Okay, keeps opening the link, but let's say like my title is this one. And let me get rid of that. Okay, like I've got this Fox Pro Frame MIPS bike that I've used into Amazon. And so what I usually do is I just paste the value in. And so this is pretty much, I know that on any given date, like today, let's say today is like January 1, 2020. On this date, I know that this is the title I updated. And if for whatever reason, if a listing gets hijacked, then the first thing that hijackers do is they try to change the title or your image. And so if for any reason this title does not match with this title, then I know there's something wrong with the listing. If my image all of a sudden gets changed, then again, I know that it's been hijacked. So this has actually helped us on many occasions where we were able to detect hijackers within 10 minutes of it happening, and we got straight on to kicking them off. Simply because it was just so easy to recognize, because we're using spreadsheets all the time, and I immediately noticed that our image changed and our title changed compared to what my original was. So these are just some of the ways that you can actually use it. So being able to have that flexibility and direct access to your data and pulling what you need, you can come up with all your creative ideas, or you can just easily automate and simplify whatever you're doing at the moment and just eliminate all the manual work out of it. So that's what Gorilla ROI does, and I hope that showed it clearly.
All right, quite advanced sheets you are showing to us. So my question actually is, what are the requirements to use your software? So is it depending on different browsers or platforms, or can you use it in the regular software?
Yeah, so since this is just based on Google Sheets, one, you definitely have to have a Google account, and two, you have to use Google Sheets. You can use it on any browser. So if you use it on Safari, Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, it works since it's just loading within Google Sheets. So if you go into menu, add-ons, then that's pretty much all you need. And then the rest is just really just Excel or spreadsheet formulas. And lots of people have just been able to jumpstart it right away. Even if they were fairly new to spreadsheets, we've got the templates that are easy to set up, and we have some really great videos and tutorials. So there hasn't really been that many issues with people actually getting it going.
So you mentioned templates. So when someone signs up for your software, for your service, they are receiving a big collection of templates to work with?
Yeah, so right now we have multiple templates. There's a basic version where it's just a very simple version to get you started. And so everybody gets access to that. No matter what plan you sign up for, everybody gets access to that. Also on our website, we also have a lot of these templates available for free. So you don't have to sign up for anything. Some of those, because if you don't have an account, you just have to update some things manually, but it's easy to just get started right away. For people who really do want more templates and more spreadsheets, we have an upgraded and improved version of that. But that's if you want to upgrade to the Pro spreadsheet version. But like I said, there's a free version. All the ones that you've seen on screen today, they're all free, and you can start using them right away.
Yeah, so that's great. And I wanted to ask about how often this data is updated. In one of the spreadsheets, you showed how you go to the menu of the sheets and you reload the data so that it pulls the newest information. Is it always when we have to update the sheets, we have to go these steps, or some information updates automatically?
Yeah, so there's a feature that I didn't show in the demo because it's automated, where you can actually enable refreshing the data automatically. So you can set it to refresh every 4 hours, 5 hours, and that way, if you don't want to click around, then that doesn't like that. But if you go into the menu and then you refresh, you always pull the latest data. And the way we do it is we're constantly calculating and making sure that all the latest date presets, like the last 7 days, the amount today, last how much you've sold over this whole year, that's constantly updated. So anytime you refresh, you're always going to get the latest. And it's just a matter of preference whether you want to click it yourself or you can set it to do it automatically.
All right, so let's talk about the pricing. Can you tell us what plans do you offer for Amazon sellers?
Yeah, so as I said initially, there's two types of accounts that you can get. One is for regular sellers, and the second type is for agencies and people with a lot of different accounts. So the easiest one is for the single seller, and this is the pricing. Anybody can get started for free. It's unlimited for free for any 3 SKUs that you have. So if all you have is 3 or less SKUs, then you can pretty much use our service completely for free. So we have several hundred people doing that already. And you can just, from any Google Sheets, go to add-ons, get add-ons. And so this will load up like all the add-ons supported by Google Sheets. Then just type in Gorilla, and you can pretty much find it and then install for free. So this first one is for people with just one seller account. And then this one is for people who have 3 or more accounts. So that's the difference. So for the pricing, if you just have 1 or 2 accounts, we do it based on the number of orders. So if you have less than 3,000 orders a month, then you're going to be on the starter plan. From 3 to 10K, you're going to be on the pro seller account. And if you do a lot of sales and unlimited orders, then this is this pricing. So it's just one flat, I wouldn't say flat. It's only flat for the unlimited. There's an overage charge. If you say like on the start and then all of a sudden you did 1 million sales, then you're going to get charged for those extra orders at 1 cent per order because of all the extra processing and the server runtimes that we have to go through. On the agency plan, this is where it's different. It's just one flat pricing. So with $199 per month, you get 3 unlimited accounts. So no matter how big your accounts are, we have some agencies who has clients doing several multi-million dollars. And so that takes a lot of processing power, but you can add any 3 unlimited. And for any extra accounts that you want to add, it's additional flat $25. And you can get all that from, just go to our website and click on the actual product, and then you can see the pricing information. But for the majority, I would say 9 out of 10 people, this is the pricing that will match what you're looking for.
All right, perfect. And could you tell us a little bit about your upcoming features, which are probably additional formulas to the sheets, right?
Right. So instead of features, we add functions and formulas so that you can pick and choose and get a better accurate number that you want. And one of our latest is, let me quickly show my screen, where people have been wanting to pull in their fees and charges that gets collected by Amazon, as opposed to just having to look into reporting, getting their accounting statements and payment statements. That's one of the biggest hassles, trying to go through their transactions. So in this spreadsheet, you can see how I'm looking at you can enter the different periods. Like right now, I've just loaded 2018 Q2, Q3, Q4, Q1, and you can get detailed information of your account or per SKU of how much you were charged, what went out, how much shipping was paid, how much tax was collected, et cetera, et cetera. And because you can get this on a per SKU basis, you can actually find the exact profit that you really are making on the product. So there's no guessing. So if you love accounting as well, if you're a data geek like I am, then this will help you. For example, like just looking at my refund fees down the middle here, there was a period where this administration fee was extremely high. And so when I started digging into it and asked Amazon, it turns out that a lot of refunds were provided, except I wasn't paid back in return. So that's a case where I got a lot of reimbursements back simply because I noticed that a number was higher than normal. And so all of this can be directly put on a per SKU basis, on an account basis. You can get this last 7 days, last 30 days, et cetera, so that you are always on top of your numbers. So these are the type of functions and features that we provide. The next one is that we really have plans to get to is we want to create a Microsoft Excel version. So for people who don't use Google Sheets, it's going to be pretty much the same thing where you can do it directly through Excel. And in that way, we can extend the product further. You don't have to keep it online. You can just keep it locally as well.
And one of the final questions, how people can get in touch with your support team and if they have pre-sale questions or existing customers?
Yeah, so you can go directly to our contact page. So we have multiple ways that people can contact us. We try to make it easy. So we have a dedicated ticketing system that you can find directly on our website. You can use our contact form, and then that gets transferred directly over to our ticketing system. And there's my email that you can also find on the website, or probably just by clicking somewhere on the page down below, and you'll be able to find my information too. So we are very quick to respond with support or just general questions. And we're more than happy to help people and just make sure everything is up and running.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And for those who are watching, check out the description below this video. There might be some discount for the services of Gorilla ROI. And thanks a lot, Jae, for this presentation of this unique product, which is, I don't think it has any analogy in the industry. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Agassiz.